Thank you, Toot.
Hello, good morning, friends. Good morning. There's so many of you here already. Take a look. Good morning, old guy. Welcome in. Thank you for the hydrate, Toot. Let me just do that now. I have a theory as to why this camera is so blown out. I don't think it has anything to do with the lighting in here. I think Early's blowing the camera out. I'm gonna play with that a little bit. Hi, good morning, Toot. Morning, Charles. Bongo right back at you. Good morning, Moon. I'm so happy you're up for stream this morning. And Story Stitcher, Paula. Hello, hello. I'm glad you could join us. Paula's been all adulty lately. Water and Dr. Pepper, excellent, excellent. And Cheryl tried the Sprite and tea. Yes, Toot found Sprite plus tea at the grocery store, and it yeah, it was quite good. Hi Earls. All right, chat is dark. Toot just pointed out to me. Let me see what I can do. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it like that for the, but then you can't see the words. Ah. I'll have to play with that chat a little bit, because I'm not sure why it's unreadable. Something changed. Okay, anyways, hi. Kali, welcome. Just gonna make a note to fix chat. Beyonce, good morning. Good morning, good morning. So, now that we have several of you here, in a minute Toot's gonna put up a poll. But basically, this title is not 100% clickbait, because it is a chat picks. Sorry. Thank you, Toot. This is a chat picks my tattoo stream. God. Set up reminders. Fix chat box. Okay. I'm less distracted now. This is a chat picks my tattoo stream. So you guys are familiar with my tattoo hoodie. So there's Figure and Dan and the modal nodes all alone on that side. And then, but we're going to be working on this sleeve today. I'm thinking maybe something right here-ish, maybe here. So yeah, Toot is going to put up a poll for me. We've been playing a lot of Minecraft lately. We've been playing a lot of Minecraft lately, and I kind of want my tattoos to reflect what's going on in my life, what I'm thinking about at the time. Not just kind of totally random motifs, but something that's vibing with me at the moment. So yeah, we're gonna do a Minecraft tattoo. So oh my god, I'm talking way too fast. I'm way too excited about stream. I'll just take a breath. In, out. Okay. So if Toot will please put up that poll with the 3 options. I'll show you what the options are. Oh, that's super tiny. Okay. Alright, so the poll is now up. Your options are a pickaxe, a book, or a diamond. And I know they're all Minecraft themed. Other polls will have like different themes, but like I said, we've been playing a lot of Minecraft right now, so this is what I want to stitch a tattoo of. So poll's going to be up for a few minutes, so take your time, vote for which motif you'd like to see. Just going to put that over there. So, why am I stitching on my hoodie today? The question. Other than the fact that I want to. So I had a couple of test stitches for just cross stitch that I got done. So as a little treat reward, I started a new little project, which took me no time at all. 3 days, start to finish. Where are we going, Earls? Let's see if my early is blowing out the camera theory is more or less accurate. Oh no, it's still... Oh, maybe. Maybe, that's... Huh, okay. So I started this on Wednesday, and I finished it yesterday. So yeah. This is a little tiny portrait of Toot. I don't know how well that's focusing. The original pattern is called Like a Boss. It's from SV Stitch on Etsy. But yeah, and originally it was a little elephant and there were like stacks of books everywhere, and this was a coffee cup, and this was this was a plant pot. Guy says, I recall seeing this on another social media feed. Yes, I've posted about it on Blue Sky a lot because I was very excited about it. Because I made a bunch of edits to it. As you can see, we've got a little zero sugar monster. We've got Toot's big tumbler of water. Box for snacks. The box was always there. I just like to say it's for snacks. A little cross-stitch hoop and the switch. And the glasses, Toot's suggestion. Make them little cat eye. See, now that... Definitely gonna have to play with the lighting in here. But yeah, this was a super fun little stitch. Story Stitcher says I could either declutter my desk or use testing all my pens as an excuse to color. Just color. You don't need an excuse. Coloring is fun. So this is a totally different style from what I usually stitch. Because I don't usually stitch things with this much backstitching. I don't stitch things that lean on backstitching for detail. And I don't know if I would again. I'm so happy with this. I absolutely love this. It's so cute. I'm so happy I did it. But I'm very much a process stitcher. So I enjoy the process of things. And for me, the fun bits in this were making the edits, making the changes. But then when it came down to like stitching the elephant and stitching the laptop and everything, it was a lot of just stitching a big blob of color. And you didn't really see the picture coming together, which is kind of my favorite thing about cross stitching, is seeing the picture come together out of all of these disparate stitches. And then it's like, oh, it's a thing. So I didn't mind the tactile feel of the stitching, but it just wasn't the funnest project for me to work on. So I don't know if I'd do it again. It wasn't too technically difficult. So if you are interested in doing a pattern like this, I would say go for it. It wasn't very hard at all, and it was very small. This whole thing was 888 stitches. So it's not a very big project at all. I did it 2/2 on even weave, and that was just to make the back stitching more easy, because a lot of the back stitches start in the middle of a square. So if I did it on the even weave, that would be in the even weave. Beyonce says, sorry if I missed it, but did you see the designer? It was Patterns by SV Stitch on Etsy. SV is the designer's initials. All right, so I finished this, and then I see our poll is over, so I'm going to get to that in a second. Actually, I'm going to get to that now so I can get started stitching. But yeah, so that was my little 3-day finish. Super fast, super easy. Really liked it. And the winner of the poll is You Have My Axe. Why did that open in a new window? Chances says, I was going to say, I love the style. It's similar to SV Stitch. That's because it is SV Stitch. Alright, so we're going to do the pickaxe. I'm going to just close this. Actually. Okay. So, I'm not working off of a cross-stitch cross-stitch pattern for this. I am working off of a perler bead pattern. So I kind of I'm gonna have to make up my own stuff. There we go. Okay, let's see. And I also have to count how many stitches it is. 1, 2. Okay, so it's 13 by 13, which is just about 1 inch by 1 inch. Good morning, Cryptic. Welcome in. You just missed it. We did a little poll to see what I was gonna stitch on my tattoo sleeve next. Turns out I'm doing a pickaxe. So it's 13 stitches by 13 stitches, which I'm using a 14 count waste canvas, so that's about 1 inch by 1 inch. So I'll do probably 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches piece. Sounds about right. I'm trying to make myself be less... Not chintzy is the word. but like less worried about saving every possible square inch of this waste canvas, because I was stressing myself out with it, and that's not fun. That's not what we want to do. Thank you for doing the shout out there, Cryptic. Cryptic is a very good bean. If you like some horror streams, you'll find us hanging out with Cryptic 4 nights a week. They're next live on Tuesday, I believe. Another community that Toot has recently begun to terrorize. And by terrorize, I mean mod. Vic says I do the same with my vinyl, saving every possible scrap. Like, I do, but at the same time, I don't really want to... I don't know. I don't want to make my life way more difficult than it has to be just for the sake of a 1/4 inch of fabric. You know what I mean? I'm trying to be better about that with Floss Chicken too. It's like, how much does this 2 inches of floss cost me, really, when I'm gonna lose 20 minutes trying to wrangle it into place? So it's kind of on the diagonal. So if we think about the pickaxe being across the top here, we could go in here and kind of tuck it between. Yeah, I like that. So I finished my little project. Immediate project hangover. And a project hangover is that thing where you finish a project and you're like, oh yeah, this is awesome, I finished it and I've got all this like motivation and beans, and then you go, wait a second. What am I gonna work on now?
Thank you, Toot.
There we go. My hydrate emote didn't go off. But thank you, Toot, for the hydrate. So I was like, okay, well, I finished 2 projects, and then I finished another project. I finished 2, started 1, finished 1, and then I was looking at my... I'm gonna keep talking while I'm wrestling with this. What am I gonna stitch now? And I'm looking at my whips and I'm like, well, I could start something new. And I'm in that place where, like, the only thing that's really calling me, and I've said this before, is another full coverage, but I don't want to get into another full coverage until I finish one of the full coverages I have going on. So I'm like, oh, I don't really, like, I could start this, I could start this, I could start this, but nothing was really just calling my name. So instead, I decided I'm going to take my 4 or 5 whips. It is 5. I told Toot it was 4, but I forgot about Mari Louise, which is like my seasonal stitch, but I might put it back into rotation. And I'm going to go back and keep trying to do Whip Go. So, if you guys aren't familiar with Whip Go. Also, side note, this is how I manage my sleeve. I just kind of like roll it up around the hoop, and then it mostly stays out of the way. I have definitely only stitched my sleeve closed a couple of times. That's it, just a couple of times. So if you guys aren't familiar with Whip Go, it's a stitching challenge. People use it for a reading challenge, a knitting challenge. any kind of challenge, really. And there you have a bingo board, the typical 25 square bingo setup. And every month, the organizer of WIPGO, Jessie Marie, I always want to say Jessie Maid, who is a knitwear designer. Jessie Marie draws 2 numbers, or calls 2 numbers. And those are like the WIPGO numbers for that month. Hello, Orchid. Welcome in. Hello, Orchid. Hello, Borkid. Welcome in, welcome in. Story Stitcher says, I get that with reading books a lot. Hype to have finished a book, but then what to do next? Exactly. Like, okay, I'm done now. What do? So each square on the WIPGO board, in theory, has a different WIP on it. And when that number is called, you work on that WIP for a predetermined amount, and the predetermined amount is however much you decide. So it's a fun little challenge because, like, you don't know what's going to happen each month. But for me, I only have 4 WIPs, so that's like a really boring ass board. So what I did was, instead, I have my board is full of prompts. And I started the year and I wasn't really going to be very, I don't know, very much on top of that. On top of it, I was more running it because I was running it on Stitchmunity. So I wanted to have a workable board for that. But now I'm in this place where I'm like, I don't know what to work on. Like, I just don't know what I want to work on. So I'm gonna go back to my WIPGO board and try and get caught up with that. Thank you for the link there, Toot. Stitchmunity is still up, still running. It's been a little bit quiet these last few weeks, but definitely go and check it out. I'll actually show you my WIPGO board here in a second after I finish basting this piece down. So my plan is I'm going to catch up, keep up with WIPGO, and then just in between work on whatever I want to do. And then every time I finish a WIPGO square, I'm going to do a tattoo. Yes, WIPGO like bingo, Orchid. I'm going to show you in a sec. So yeah. So this morning, I'm like, okay, this is a great idea. So I sat down, I looked at my WIPGO board, and I'm like, okay, I have to finish 1 prompt for March, both for April and both for May. And my prompts, I do 1,500 stitches. Which isn't a ton. Like, it's a nice, like, midway goal for me. It's not a huge amount, it's not a small amount. Good amount. I sat down and I did my math, and I realized I was 23 stitches short of doing my of getting to the ticking off that March block. So I just did those this morning. So this is the tattoo after the WIPGO block. This is basted. Let me. This I got from Dollarama, I think, around Halloween time. So yes, Orchid asks, are you using a special Ada for the tattoos? Yes. This is... Hi, Early. Hi, Earls. Earls just somehow sent emotes in chat. Okay, cool. Hi, Early Girly. So this is waist canvas. Like old guy Stitcher just said, it's that old school waist canvas. So basically after I'm done with this, it's not water soluble in that it dissolves, but you do still need to get it wet. And then these, basically you get it wet to kind of like loosen the strands, and like they're held together with starch. And then you just, each of these individual strands, you just pull off with a pair of tweezers. So it just leaves the stitching behind. Girls, are we gonna crazy or are we gonna go sit down? Is it because I put something in your spot? Yeah. So yeah, let me show you guys my, see what I got here. Should have been more prepared for this, but that's okay. Sorry, OBS is giving me sauce for a second. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this is my WhipGo board. So welcome to Stitchmunity. There is a section in Stitchmunity where you can keep stitching notes. So you can see here's my project notes. I have one over here, my other notes. So I keep my DMC inventory here, my stitching plans, and then year in review is just my stats, and then pictures of everything I've finished. So the one I wanted to show you guys was WhipGo. This is my WhipGo board. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a bingo board. So I've got prompts on here, like the least amount of stitches remaining, the most amount of stitches remaining, the biggest dimensions, the smallest dimensions, a full coverage, a sampler, the most colors, the least colors, that kind of thing, newest, oldest. So instead of a specific project, I am just, I'm working on the project that fits that prompt. So March I finished, was Woodland Enchantress. It was a wheel project. So I spun the wheel of random and came up Woodland Enchantress. So the ones that I have to do to catch up are biggest dimensions, which is Woodland Enchantress, and Toot pick, which they picked Dinosaur Forest. So those two are for April. And then for May, I spun the wheel again and got Dinosaur Forest, and a sampler, so I'm doing Star Wars. So I have to catch up on those, and then whatever Jessie Marie posts as the calls for June, I will add those. So yeah, so that's kind of how I'm just keeping myself organized. It's how I'm giving myself those like small goals, because I'm sure you guys understand that when you have the high definition brains, like as many of us do, you need easy wins. You need small goalposts. You need the dopamine. So yeah, that's my plan going forward. Guy says still working on getting a POW cam. Yes, so POW cam will have to wait just a little bit longer. We are, many of you know, we're in the process of selling our condo, and once that is done, we'll be able to kind of finish settling in to the new place. Gonna work on our setups, that kind of thing. So yeah, and that includes the POW cam. So now that I've spoken a lot and haven't actually stitched anything, it's time for break. So we're gonna take a break. See if this works. Yep. All right. I'm gonna run an ad. If you're watching here on Twitch, otherwise, get up, stretch, hydrate, grab a snack. I'll see you back here. Go unshrimp. All right. See you soon, guys. That weir was so ominous. Sorry about that, guys. Welcome back. I hope you had a good break. I hope you grabbed something nice to drink or eat. Some coffee. Coffee. I should drink some coffee. I'm once again drinking from our local roaster, Coffin Creek. Yeah, Arls, it's Coffin Creek. So yeah, once we kind of get the house stuff settled, then we will... What did I do with that? Here it is. Once we get the house stuff settled, then we'll be able to upgrade our setups, get some stream stuff, that kind of thing. Okay, so... doing it this way. So the good thing about working off of perler beads perler bead patterns is that they're easy to find. They've got a lot of like fandom type ones. However, they often use many, many, many different colors. Whereas in cross stitch, like, people kind of try and reserve the number of colors they use. But that's less of a concern in perler beads. So I often have to kind of, I don't know, not dumb down, but dumb down the color palette. And then you also have to count a lot. Okay, if I want to go... and yeah, and they don't come with the DMC colors, because they don't use DMC. They use every other color under the sun. But like I said, they're really easy to find, and a lot of them are free, which is great when you're just doing a bunch of little motifs like this. So this is the Simplify. Thank you, Cheryl. That's a better word. Simplify. I think I hit the camera on that one. But yeah, simplify the color palette. So you can see in this pickaxe, why are you nodding all of the time? You can see in this pickaxe that there are 3 colors in the diamonds and 1 color of gray, and then it looks to be 5 colors of brown, 5 shades brown. So I'm going to be using 1 color of gray, 1 shade of gray, 3 shades of brown, and 2 shades of blue. So I'm just cutting out a couple of colors. That'll be good. Toot says I was going to bring Pow over on the break, but with her new favorite trick of peeing anytime I touch her, I thought I'd give it a pass. Thank you. I appreciate that. My desk appreciates that. Cryptic said you had a chance for 50 Shades of Grey and you ruined it. Look. I have 50 Shades of Grey in DMC Floss. That would be the most boring project. Although actually someone that I hang out with in Michelle's server is doing a portrait of Gandalf, and it's all grayscale, and it is like 50 Shades of Grey, and it's gorgeous. But so much gray. Oh, so much gray. But kind of the good thing about working off of perler patterns is you can really wing the colors. Like, I mean, I'm the kind of person that if I didn't have the called for floss colors, I would just kind of substitute them anyways. But with perler, it's even more like, just use what I have. Also, if you're doing something like this, so I did it in yellow, so you guys can't actually really see, but let me, so the reason that the basting doesn't go all the way around the outside of the piece is because I'm outlining where the other stitches are. So I know not to stitch into that area. That's why I do it that way. actually haven't done a tattoo in a while. I think it's partially because, you know, we've been insanely busy. Misha says, if DH was to do a monochrome pattern, I would guess they would go 50 Shades of Green. You don't know me, but also yes. Also, that sounds amazing. Also, I wish there were 50 Shades of Green in DMC. I don't think there are. Old guy asked, do you have most of the 500 plus DMC shades? No. Yes? What do you classify as most? I think we have about 350 of them. I'm not exactly sure because I have to... My inventory is wildly out of date and I need to update it. That's close enough. Alright. I'm just gonna hop us over to the break screen real quick. I've just got to take care of something. Thanks, guys. kind of illegal activities have been going on here while I was gone? TH is away. Everyone say nice things about them. Oh god. Toot says, I love how creative they are. Charles says, DH is an amazing and thoughtful friend. Toot says, and when they want to learn something, they learn it. Charles says, they love helping others, which is a great quality. Toot says, they love their friends with their entire heart and soul. There's no middle ground. Old guy says, and they make such cool patterns. Love the new possum ones. Charles agrees, their patterns are awesome too. Toot says, their love for animals after a childhood without is incredible to see. And Toot says, they're so patient and kind and loving. And Lady K says, DH is very kind and welcoming to new people. You guys are illegal. I'm not crying, you're crying. Illegal. Also, good morning, Lady K. Welcome in. Thank you. You're all lovely people, and I love and appreciate all of you. But also, heck. Heck, I say. I can't even remember what I was saying before I had to step away. Okay, says, so that means more kind things? No. No. No, we're not. There shan't be any of that now. We were talking colors. Yes. Okay. Yeah. So I don't have all of the DMC colors. A lot of designers do actually invest in a full set, just to have one. I know some designers who have two full sets, one that they keep in color order and one that they keep in number order. I could never keep my actual floss in color order. I couldn't do it. But what I have, and this was an excellent gift from Charles. So I have, you may have seen this on previous streams. Kelly says, I like how excited they get to see others' projects and make me excited to continue working on stuff. Thank you, Kali. I appreciate it. So this is the DMC color card. There's two different versions of this. One is just a printed color card. The one I have, these are actual floss. Like this is the actual floss sample glued down into the book. And it has every single color. It arranged by shade. And then at the back, it's got like a little legend where you can find them by number. So I use this when I'm designing to make sure I'm getting the right colors when I don't actually have the physical floss with me. This has been absolutely invaluable to my designing. Like, definitely, if you're looking to design stuff, especially more complicated stuff that has more shading, invest in one of these. Unless you have a full set of DMC, in which case just use that, but like in cases I would want to pet the floss way too much. I do when I'm using it. I definitely pet the floss. It's a tactile thing. $100% a tactile thing. The reason that I keep like shifting and moving and like jerking this towards the camera, the thing with working on the hoodie is that you have to deal with the entire hoodie. Like, it's just hanging out here. It's not a little piece of fabric. But Callie brings up a good point. What are you guys working on? Tell me what you're working on this morning. Or last night, or will be working on later today. If you're still waking up getting your coffee. Hoodie is becoming its own being, like extra kitty. It really is like an extra kitty. An extra clingy kitty that just... It's never quite where you need it to be. He was working on a Cozy DH original! Thank you very much. That reminds me. I need to send out the 2nd April mini today. So, Binks, yeah. A cling bean that, like, it kind of fights you when you try and move it. Binks is a very, very affectionate cat. She loves to be petted. She loves affection. She loves to be acknowledged. She hates to be picked up. She just kind of goes, like, really stiff. So people thought that she wasn't, like, she wasn't an affectionate or a friendly cat because she didn't like to be picked up. And it's like, no, she's just boundaries. You weren't respecting her boundaries. IRLs. Charles says, Rainbow Magic! I'm getting color finishes left and right. That's awesome! Have you shared a picture of your progress in the Discord yet? Because Cheryl was telling me this morning they're at like 93% or something like that. I'm so excited to see it done. And Kalia's working on their rainbow cardigan, almost a purple on the body. Ugh. I love doing like rainbow stuff like that. When I was knitting, anytime there was kind of like a color gradient or stripes or anything, that really motivated me to keep going, just because you want to see how the color develops. Especially if it was a variegated. Then it's like, what is it going to do? Lady K says all love must be on her terms. That's true for all cats, pretty much. Cats are a great lesson in consent. Old Guy says, believe it or not, I'm slowly playing catch up on the Tiny Garden Mystery Sal. The warmer weather calls me outdoors with my camera and distracts me. You know what? Take your time. The Tiny Garden was meant to be a little bright spot of life and green and nature at the beginning of spring. And now you have life and green and nature to enjoy. So that's the spirit of the Tiny Garden. I have a knot. I have a not so tiny knot. Carl is gonna share it later. Not gonna risk it because the stream is working. That is very valid. But yes, Toot is working on the June freebie, which I am so excited about. I think you guys are really gonna like it. I only did 3 stitches on that other side when I should have done 4. Been too long since I worked on this. I think the reason that I stopped working on this, honestly, combination of things. One is because I didn't know how to work it into my schedule because all of my projects are large, so I couldn't do it after I finished a project. Because then I would only get like 2 or 3 tattoos done a year. It felt like, anyways. And also, the last 2 things that I did were, I did the Stormtroopers and Bigger and Dan and the modal nodes at the same time. Like, not concurrently, but like right after each other. And I think I went too hard because this is harder on the hands than regular stitching, for sure. And I did a lot of it in like 5 days. So yeah, I think I just kind of burned myself out on it. It's nice to get back to it. Okay, says no apologies needed. I'm amazed by how much you have done on the sleeve. I remember well when you started it. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's been a really fun project to work on, like, with you guys and just pull out every now and then. I'm really enjoying it. And I have to say, it's holding up really well. Like, I wear this sweater all the time. It's gone through the washer multiple times. I wear it out constantly. Lady K says you must follow the stars, so stars say no can do on tattoo. Alright, I'll follow the stars. I also, one thing I was worried about is I am a chronic sleeve pusher. I live with my sleeves pushed up my elbows. And I was worried that the stitching would just, it would stretch out or it would start coming loose, even worse. But no, absolutely none of that. So I highly recommend trying this out. One thing I think I want to do at some point, I saw this on another stream, is no, I saw it on a community post on Stitch Community. Someone did waste canvas on a tote bag, but what they did was they did 6 strands over 2 on the 14 count. So like they did a fairly small design, but it was it turned out quite large. It was really super cute. It was like a slowpoke being carried off by a balloon. So I think I might try that at some point. Not on this because I'm going to keep this all the same, but like on a tote bag or something. Well, guy says, how many strands of floss are you using? I'm using 2. 2 strands over 1 on the 14 count waste canvas. I'm just rewinding this onto the bobbin so it doesn't get lost. I have more 3799, but I just have to wind it up. So I'll show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm going to make this bigger for you. So if you look at the pickaxe, the handle of the pickaxe, the brown on one, the dark brown on one side is a different shade of dark brown than the dark brown on the other side. So there's 4 shades of dark brown in the handle. So there's 4 shades of brown in the handle. I'm just going to go do 3. And then if you look at the diamond, there's a really greenish teal, and then a dark turquoise, a light turquoise, and then there's the other greenish teal at the other end. So I'm not doing those 2 strands of those 2 stitches of really greenish. I'm just going to do them in the same light teal. But that's the kind of like additions and changes that I have to make when I'm converting either pixel art or perler art. So for the handle, I'm gonna do 898, and then for the center I'm gonna do 420 and 422. The fact that this isn't green will forever bother me. It's 420. Like 666 is red. And I know that the DMC were like created ages ago before 420 was a thing, but like still. I'm also dealing with an extra challenge because usually I stitch like this. I guess I could kind of stitch like this. But then I'd have to switch the pattern around. I usually stitch like this so like the bulk of the sleeve is not under my hand, but because I'm doing it like at a weird diagonal, I'm fighting with the sleeve a lot more than I usually do. That's the other reason why this is more tiring, is because you're fighting with the sleeve the whole time. Like you kind of, the fabric, because it's a knit jersey fabric, it's very stretchy, which means it wants to bounce back into its original shape instead of staying where you put it. It's less than ideal. Stormy girl, welcome in, welcome in. Welcome back to life. You just crushed out for 14 hours? Going around. Everyone seems to be getting a lot of good sleep. I didn't sleep for a long time today. Like I was up around 6:15-ish. But I woke up feeling really good. I took a shower and then I'm like, you know what? I got time. So I took a bath. Nice long soak. Then I just kind of puttered around, did my stuff, got ready for stream. Good morning. Did my stitches on Woodland Enchantress. My 23 stitches I needed to do. Because I figure I do about I do about 10,500 stitches a month on a slowish month, like on a normal month, I'd say. And at the moment I'm 4 squares behind at 1,500 stitches a square. That means that I am 6,000 stitches behind. And then that's right, yeah. And then as of June, that'll add another 3,000 stitches. So it'll be like I need to do 9,000 stitches by the end of June to get caught up, which feels totally doable, just given my normal stitching speed. Stormy says, I just haven't had a day off in the past 2 weeks. You finally got to recover from the festival and work? Nice. I'm so glad you got some rest and recovery time. That's so important. Take easy, very important in this community. Which festival did you go to? I believe I know. I vaguely remember hearing you talk about it. I cannot remember. And thank you, Toot, for bringing up the wisdom of socks. Run fun. Take easy, also important. Sleep only on this side. Right, you went to Sonic Temple. That sounds like a lot of fun, but also very loud. Like, and not very loud in a bad way, just very loud in a, I need to sit in a quiet room for the next 3 days kind of way. First festival, so you of course decided to destroy your body and do a 4-day pass. Nice. Very loud, lived in earplugs. I knew you would summon Cryptic with the Sonic Temple. Cryptic has a great stream playlist, by the way. If you guys, when we hang out in Cryptic stream, he has music going, and it's usually like rock, metal, that kind of stuff, unless Toot and I are in the chat and we just throw in like Weller Man every now and then. Cryptic says, yeah, I've been to Sonic ROTR 4 times. It's such a great time. We think it's going to be a yearly thing for us since we're semi-local to it. Nice. That's really great when you find something like that. Rock on the range. Okay. I must count. Fine. When I was a kid, I can't really do music festivals anymore. Just physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. No, with everything I've got going on. But when I was a kid, my parents and I would go to quite a few. They're quite into the folk music scene. If you're familiar with Stanfest, then you'll kind of know the vibes. But yeah, I can't say I've ever been to a rock festival. I've been to folk music festivals. Probably a very different vibe. I think I've talked on stream before about how music was a really big part of my experience at school, at university. Just in the area that I lived and the program I was in, trad music was really big. So, you know, you'd go to a party, be a house party, someone's house. There'd be like 50 people there. 2 guys with bagpipes, 3 guys with guitars. My friend Michelle always had at least 2 drums, 6 harmonicas, and a banjo on him. Couple fiddles, you know, the usual. And they'd be playing trad music all night, and people would be up doing square sets. And that was what a party for me in high school was. He really was a bard, IRL, Stormy Girl. Because he'd show up to these parties, and he had I remember this. They had he had a long like duster coat, because this was like the early aughts, so you know. He had like a long duster coat, and he would wear like this, it wasn't a fedora, but it was like a wide brimmed battered black hat, and he had a bandolier of harmonicas like strapped across his chest. And he'd show up to a party, and he's just got like musical instruments all over him. And I remember one night, just the best memory I have of him is there was one night when we ran out of chairs in this guy's house. So they went out to the wood pile and just dragged in some logs. So he's just sitting in this guy's living room, sitting on a log, picking the banjo, playing the harmonica at the same time. This was my college experience. I had a friend who was literally a blacksmith. Like, that was his part-time job in the summers, is he was a blacksmith at recreation villages. Ooh, excellent. Okay, guys, breaking news. Breaking heckin' news. Gigi is a handsome boy. That's the breaking news. No, yeah, here he goes. But if you guys want to see what June's freebie is going to look like, if you guys want to see what June's freebie is going to look like, Toot just finished the stitch for it. So here it is. Oh, look at that. It says safe space in the Progressive Pride flag colors. This is quite washed out. It is quite a bit more saturated in person. IRLs. That's closer. And then we've got our little community goblins hanging out, keeping you safe. So yeah. This is going to be going out on June 1st. It'll go up on the coffee as well as the Patreon. So if you're, you can do a free Patreon membership and you'll get this like emailed to you on the 1st. Olga says I was going to ask you if you're doing anything special for Pride Month, and you beat me to the punch. Of course I am. Of course I am. I was thinking of doing a mystery sal for Pride Month, but I just did not have time. But next year is gonna be a thing that happens. We're gonna do a mystery sal for Pride Month. Charles is cute. Gigi too. Yeah, Gigi is cute. So yeah, you'll get this June 1st. I've got a couple more queer themed stitches coming out in the month of June. So yeah. I've also been I will be submitting some queer themed stitches to Just Cross Stitch magazine. So I'm trying to get them a little more gay. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, it looks amazing. So big thank you to Toot for getting this done so quick, because I was not on top of things, and I forgot that June was coming up soon. So they did that. They started that like 3 days ago. Yes, the customary charge of $7. So yeah, they started that like 3 or 4 days ago for me. Thank you. It's on your famous black Ada. Made a dent in your stash yet? Asks Old Guy Stitcher. Funny you should ask. No. No. I do have all my stash unpacked. It's like, and it's actually way more accessible for me now. I might grab it on break so I can show you the vast swath of black Ada we still have. We have 2 vast swaths of black Ada. We have a 14 count and an 18 count. But like, we're using it. We're going through it. And the reason that I got such a big swath in the first place, vast tracts of land, was for raccoons. Toot's big raccoon Stardew finish. Because that needed like a 25 by 25 inch piece of Ada. So, and to get a piece of Ada that size, just that size, would have been more expensive than to get this massive, like, I can't remember what it is, actually, like 60 by 120 inches or something, which was not that expensive on Amazon. So if you need black Ada, like, I basically got the equivalent of a Cone of Doom of black Ada, but it's fine. With the rate we use it, and with the rate Mama Witch Cross Stitch is coming out with new designs that I need to make, it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything is fine. So yeah, let me just do a quick... I don't have a button for it. So I'm just putting up the link to the Patreon there. So if you want the freebies without remembering to check for them on the 1st of each month, you can sign up for the free membership, and then you'll just get an email when they come out. Otherwise, they're going to be in the coffee shop. Oh, I need to fix that too. Oops. Oops. But yeah. I have today I'm sending out, so the Patreon members, all the paid members get a mini portrait every month. And then they vote on which one they want. So I'm sending out the second. Oh, thank you so much, Toot. I'm sending out the second one for April today because I'm that far behind, which is Mr. Rogers. So I had a lot of fun designing that one. And then I'm gonna release, and I'm gonna do up the May one, which my theme was non-humans of Star Wars, and the winner so far is Figure and Dan the Beath, who is the leader of the modal nodes. So I'm gonna do that, and yeah, and then I'll be pretty much back on track. Luckily, I had kind of a stash of patterns for release. Luckily, I had worked ahead so much that I'm not super behind right now in terms of pattern releases. I actually have a few, because Toot's been stitching this whole time. Like, Toot has been just... Oh, I made a mistake. Toot's been just non-stop stitching for me. So I have finishes that they've done that I need to frame and take pictures of and make like the fancy graphics and everything. And that's the only thing holding it up. It's not the fact that I don't have a test stitch for it. Just that I need to do things now. But I'm really enjoying doing the co-working live streams on Monday and Thursday. And I added a hand cam, so basically this camera I just have on during the co-working. So if I'm designing, you can see me design on the program, but if I'm working on other stuff like pictures or referencing my stash or things like that, then you'll be able to see that as well. Because that's when I get most of my work done, is during those streams. Because we're still in the middle of unpacking a house. So I'm not back to like a full work schedule. I was talking to Kat this morning about how streaming on Twitch is fun and it's addictive and we love doing it, but sometimes it is like a second job. Or a third job or a fourth job, depending on who you are, how hard you hustle. Which we are not about hustle culture in this server. We are about chill, restorative, take easy, take life at your own pace. But yeah, like it's basically another job. So coming back to Twitch slowly, coming back to designing slowly, because we have a house to unpack. Like I said, it's so cool to see a pattern release that was designed on a live stream that I watched, like the recently released Possum Parade. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I thought that people might enjoy that kind of stuff, which is why I kind of do a little bit more of it. But yeah, I love designing on stream. Like, I really do. Even if it's just a lot of me like staring at screenshots of David Duchovny's hair, I like sharing that part of the process with you too. So many screenshots of his hair. I think my hair is improving. I think all of my design skills are improving. I've always said that art is a talent, but it is also a skill. And it's something that you can work on. You can purposefully strive to improve. And that's what I'm doing. Oh, thank you, Toot, for putting up the links in both chats. And I mean, some people with the art and also with the Twitch, some people just kind of click naturally with it, and some people do have to work at it a little bit more. Which is, it's fine. Like, it's not bad if you have to work at something. It's more the effort that you're willing to put out than the immediate results that you get. And I say this because Toot has been doing an amazing job with their stream. Like that segue? So if you guys don't know, which I'm sure all of you do, Toot also streams here on Twitch. Their community is growing quite quickly. It's awesome. Love to see it. So if you want some cozy horror ASMR video gameplay, definitely follow Toot. They'll be live again tomorrow morning for Ghost Church. I have to catch up on my temperature stitching because I haven't done that. But yeah, they have definitely been growing their community. They've been getting a bit of a name for themselves in the horror streaming community, which is so funny. Not funny, but like so great, because I'm sure that you guys can figure out what Toot is now famous for and what every single streamer does when they see them coming.
Thank you, Toot.
Yep, that. We were hopping on a raid train, which is just when people keep the raid going within a community. And whenever Toot found a streamer who hadn't learned to put a cooldown on their hydrate, or had their hydrate priced way too low, they learned real quick. It's funny because a lot of them you could see the cooldowns going into place in real time. But thank you for the hydrate, Toot. I was eating too much. I was talking too much. Yes. All of the hydrates. So Cryptic says that was so great. Toot got such a name very fast in the Crypt community. Yeah, that was amazing. So let me I lost my tab. Where is my tab? Tab. Am I not subbed to Toot right now? Or is it just being difficult? No, I am subbed to Toot. So this is one of Toot's newest emotes. It's also going to be an upcoming pattern in the shop. It's been finished for a long time. I just need to get it up. But it's a little drink goblin. Because that is what Toot is. Toot is my little drink goblin. Old guy says, are you most active now on Blue Sky? I just started and I'm trying to figure it out. I am, yes. Because I like taking in cross-stitch content. And I like doing it in a way that doesn't involve looking at products for sale and just developing a need for more patterns, if that makes sense. So, yeah. So I'm pretty active on Blue Sky. You'll find, so Instagram is all business all the time. It's all shop updates and that kind of thing. Blue Sky is the shop updates plus more personal stitching and the occasional personal update, just what's going on in our lives, mainly how it affects the business, but a little bit more casual stuff than my my scripted posts. But yeah, if you want to follow me and hang out there. And I have noticed you be more active, old guy. You like all of my posts, and I appreciate that. Okay, so Diamond. I've watched way too much PewDiePie frickin' playing Minecraft. Okay, this is my palette, so I think that's for the darkest blue. It's the darkest blue. It's a lot more close to that in person. This camera is just not great at colors. And then I think this one's more greenish, and then this one's more bluish. I think that one's too dark. I think I'm gonna go with the bluish one. I pulled floss that would work for all three of the options before stream, so I wasn't digging through my floss boxes, because that would have been a lot of noise and a lot of kerchunking. But yeah, go follow Toot. Go hydrate and follow Toot at the same time. I will be posting our upcoming schedule on Blue Sky as well as in the Discord. Olga says you're dragging me into the 21st century by prompting me to join Twitch and then Blue Sky. You're young, you're hip, you're with the kids now. Actually, if you're interested, I don't know who. I'm gonna see if I can hop on the raid train, but there's a makers and crafting raid train going on this week, which is basically just it's a structured set of streams that go into each other. So you can, like, I tuned into Kat this morning, and I'll just raid out with Kat's community into the next one and into the next one and into the next one. So you get introduced to a lot more cross-stitch streamers. And then you can find just more people to hang out with, which is great. We've made a lot of awesome cross-stitchy friends through Twitch and through Discord. I've found some good new designers through cross-stitch through Blue Sky as well, unfortunately. One of them is Boblin Goblin, and they have a similar style to the little Toot portrait that I did. So I probably won't do any of their stuff, but it's like cryptid plushies. Oh, it's so cute. But yeah. And then, so Toot's gonna be live tomorrow morning with Ghost Church, and usually I would say that Moon, our friend Moon Phased, is going to be live tomorrow evening with cross stitching, but she's gonna be live this evening with cross stitching. So if you guys are around 8 p.m. Eastern, our friend Moon is going to be doing cross stitch on stream. I think she's probably going to be working on her Unseelie Witch full coverage. So yeah, if you want to come hang out, that's going to be where I'm going to be at. But it is time for another break. So I'm going to run a 3-minute ad. If you are watching on YouTube, just enjoy the vibes. If you're watching on Twitch and are not subbed, watch the ad. You are subbed, enjoy the vibes. Let's get up, stretch, unshrimp, do all the things. I'll see you in 3 minutes. So it's supposed to say we're back. I need to fix that too. Anyways, welcome back, guys. Kelly says, time to wind some yarn. Let's go. Let's heckin' go. I am finding yarn in the most random places after the move. I'm gonna move the camera a little bit so you guys can get another shot of Early. She is fast asleep and snoring. When I play Minecraft, I have haptic feedback from her snoring on my keyboard. She's good. She kind of knows the amount of pressure she can put on the keyboard without pressing a key, because as soon as she presses a key, I move her off of it. So when she finally settles in the right position, like, she's not actually pressing any keys right now. She knows she can stay there. Charles says she's so cute. She really is. She's my work buddy. She basically, like, this is my office area. She basically stays in this room all day. And then at bedtime, she comes out, goes to bed with us. And then in the morning comes back and just hangs out in here. Old guy says she was watching you intently for a while a bit earlier. Yeah, she does that. I took her to the vet a little while ago, just for a checkup. We just wanted to take everybody in for a checkup, make sure they're all doing good. And she refused to let the vet do anything unless I was holding her. Not unless she was being held, unless I specifically was holding her. I had to cradle her against my chest and rock her like a baby so that the vet could, like, take her vitals. Isn't that right, baby? Yeah. Yeah, we took everyone in for checkups just to make sure that they're all doing good, because, yeah, you should take your pets in for checkups to make sure they're all doing good, because you might not notice an issue. So Binks is on a antibiotic because she's been a little bit gassy. But she's never been on medication before. She's about 6 or 7 now. She's never been on medication. So this whole, like, being picked up and held, thank you for the hydrate. This whole being picked up and held and then something like a liquid squirted into her mouth is just totally foreign to her. And she hasn't quite figured out that it's happening twice a day. But that's the reason that this hand is more scratched up than usual. Like, I've got it pretty bad there and pretty bad there. Like, I don't know if you guys notice, like, I feel a lot more self-conscious about the scratches on my hands than I'm sure you guys can actually see, because I've got bite marks and scratches or scratch. I have 5 cats. This is what my hands look like. I have 5 cats, one of whom is on medication, one of whom needs extra care. Like, I just have a lot of scratches. It's so funny because people are so afraid of the snakes, right? Like, oh, have they ever bitten you? And it's like, no, but the cats have. I've been way more marked up by the cats than any of the snakes. And I mean, you can't really be mad at them for using their defense mechanism because you have violated their boundaries. Even if we're violating their boundaries for a good reason, we can't explain that to them, so. Charles says, I think I have more scars from rabbits than any other creature. Yeah, it's always the quiet ones. But I would totally believe that. More scars from rabbits. I am feeling less self-conscious about my nails now, though. Because I stopped biting them. Very proud of that. A while now. Like a year. I have to trim them, but... Look. For a chronic nail biter, since I was a wee child, look at that. I haven't bitten them in over a year. Charles says they kick with their clawed feet. That sounds... yeah. Yeah. They're, and those are some powerful kicks, too. So what I just did is I have a blue stitch here, and then there's 3 other stitches. So instead of just, like I normally would, I just jump over and do that stitch. I actually brought the needle under the back of these 3 stitches, so it was buried. So the thread was buried, just so I don't have any long floats like that. Like, I don't know what they're called in cross stitch. I call them floats because that's what they're called in knitting. I saw someone ask, because they were new to it, they saw someone ask, like, how many stitches should you jump before you, like, just tie off and start a new thread? And they were like, I've been doing, like, 3 or 4. And the rest of us are like, girl, 20 or 30. You're fine. Oh God, get through. Thank you. I know I've got my weekend plans set. I've got she streams and spooky streams, and Toot and I are just gonna chill, cross stitch, take care of the house. Be a good weekend. Charles says I base it more on how visible it is from the front. Yeah, absolutely. Like, especially if it's let me just skip this song.
Ladies and gentlemen, the chocolate.
Yeah, like if it's a very dark Ada and you're working with like a very, say, bright yellow like this, I wouldn't move as far as I would if it was an Ada that would a color that would be more likely to like not show up. I've got pink fuzzies in my stitch. Pink fuzzies, yellow fuzzies. I know my colors. Toot says flip safe space over to see how I feel about traveling. Are we about to see a constellation? Because I really like the effect of like the sideways lettering, but I know it was a pain to stitch. So here's safe space. Let's see. All right. That's actually like a really cool Argyle effect. I like that. But yeah, don't be afraid to travel. Look at this. Specifically, this green float from here to here. And from here to here. I also feel more comfortable traveling if I know it's a space that's going to get stitched over. Because I know it's going to get stitched over. One guy says it looks like string art. It does. Toot's backs are so neat, though. Like, they're just so... Oh, sorry. So neat. Yeah, that's the one you were talking about. Alright. Well, we're done our pickaxe here. Just passing off this thread. Another question. Oh. First, old guy has a question. Early in the stream, you mentioned OBS. Are you using it for streaming? Yes. So OBS, or Open Broadcast Software, is what most people use to stream, because it's free and open source, and it's kind of the most established product out there. There are a few competitors that are starting to come out of the woodworks now, but OBS is probably the most common streaming software. It is, however, notorious for breaking after an update. So you will often hear streamers cursing OBS. It's a random question. How long of a length do you leave? Like, if you snipped off your end and you've got like this much left, obviously that's an ort. It's like this much. Is that an ort, or is that going back on the bobbin? That's what I want to know. Just trimming up my ends here. Bobbin for you. Like I think like anything less than like 6 inches is an ort. I don't know what 6 inches is. Well, guy says from personal experience, it depends. Yeah, it kind of does for me too. But at the same time, like I said earlier, I'm really trying to be better about making my life easier when it comes to stitching. Because if dealing with that 6-inch length of floss is going to be more of a pain than it is going to be a help, then why am I doing it? To save a fraction of a cent on floss? Like, if you're playing Floss Chicken, that's one thing. I'm just using my tweezers because I got a little bit of the basting thread stuck under this thread, so it was looking a little bit greenish because it had yellow floof. So I just used tweezers to pull the floof off.
Show me the one whose safety deems such destruction.
Sorry for all the talking ones. I didn't edit this playlist very well. Kelly says if I'm still working on the project, it gets saved. At the end of the project, it goes into the ort jar. Okay. So you kind of save them up while you're working on the thing. Carol says, I find them useful for when I just have 1 or 2 stitches out in the middle of nowhere. Okay. Just yesterday, you tried to use a short piece I had saved and realized it was only 2 strands, and the piece I was currently stitching with was 3. Oh no. Like this is an ort for me. I'm not gonna bother rewinding this because, like, realistically, because I do a buried start, so realistically I'm losing that much thread to the start, and then at the end I'm losing this much thread to fastening it off. Oh, thank you so much for the follow. Let's see. I only follow bottoms. Well, you're in the wrong place, my friend. But thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Welcome in. So yeah, so if I'm losing this much to the start and this much to the end, I'm really only, like, how many stitches am I getting out of this? Not enough to put it back on the bottom. Alright, look, we did it. I'm not gonna pull off the waste canvas on stream because I need to get it wet. Because it's got like a starch. So if I were to just start pulling, you can kind of get 1 or 2 off the edges without much fuss. But it's it's held together with like a starch. And so if you run it under hot or warm water, that kind of dissolves the starch bits and loosens it up and makes it a lot easier to pull. Crafty says, so can you explain how it comes off? That's my biggest curiosity so far. So, okay, each of these strands just peels right off. So, the outside ones are going to be the easiest. And then when you get to the middle bits, so you just kind of grab a strand and then you pull it straight out. Except I didn't wet this, so it's like really hard. But yeah, you just kind of grab with the tweezers and pull straight, and each of these little fibers comes out the way that it works. So it's tedious, but it looks great at the end. No problem. Very satisfying. The only thing is, if you have cats, just be careful, because I don't want anyone to eat one of these little strands by accident, even though they're very short. It's just, so usually I'll have like a tissue or paper towel or something, and I'll just put them right into the paper towel, and then I can throw the whole thing away. And if you're working on this piece, I'll probably soak it under the tap, and that'll be good. But if you're working on like a larger one, like the ones that people used to make in the 80s that have like the entire tiger on the sweater, I've heard it recommended to keep a spray bottle with you, and then you can just keep re-wetting it, because it does get harder when it dries. I'm gonna stop pulling those now. But yeah, thank you guys for picking my tattoo for me. This is gonna be fun. Kurchik says, would hot steam have the same effect of loosening them up? I have no idea. I have never tried it. This is actually this project is the first time that I've used waste canvas, and I've just been, because each of them has been so small, I've just been running them under the tap until they're pretty soaked, and then yeah, doing it that way. So my next Whip Go goal, I have to catch up on, so I'm done March. So I need to do 1,500 stitches on Dinosaur Forest and 1,500 stitches on Woodland Enchantress. After I do one of those, I can do another tattoo. That makes sense? Charles says, I think it's just the water. I'm not sure if it matters if it's steam or liquid. Yeah, I think because it's kind of dissolving the starchy fibers that's keeping it together. But I don't know if the hot steam would do that. I don't know. Yeah, so you'll be seeing a lot of these two guys. Like 1,500 stitches isn't, like I said, it's not a lot, but it's not a little either. This is Dinosaur Forest, which is coming along quite well. I do need to make up some more blends for it. I think I'm out of a couple colors. And then I was working on Woodland Enchantress this morning, so I'll probably keep working on her. And I just started up in the corner. So this is a Dimensions kit. I've already done some of the other bits of it, but I just did it on a gridded fabric instead of the ungridded that it came with, because it is a full coverage. And I'm doing parking on this one. And I'm loving the like Bob Ross watercolor effect of that corner. So yeah, so I finished this diagonal and I'm working on the next diagonal here. Old guy says cute orange hoop. Mine are all bamboo, I think. Yeah, so this is a green one. This is my favorite hoop because it's my favorite size. It's an 8-inch and it's bright lime green. But I got these hoops in a set off of Amazon. And I first got them and I was like, what is this crap? Like, they'll do for now, right? Like, they're fine for now. But I didn't like them because they have a ridge in them. I don't know how well you could see that. But there's a ridge in the inner hoop. And then there's a bump in the outer hoop. So they slot together. And they are a pain to get on. Like, they are a struggle. but they hold the tension so well. I've heard that that nerd hoops are a similar construction, so I'm going to be trying a nerd hoop, which I like because they're square. But these hold the tension so well. The only thing is, I can only find them in like the pack of multiple sizes, so I can't just buy like 3 more 8 inches because they come in. So the set comes with a 4, 5. I don't have the 6 on me. The 6 is. Where did my 6-inch hoop go? I don't have anything else on a hoop. Alright. I think I gave it to Moon, maybe. And then there's the 8, then the 10. And then I don't even take them, I didn't even take them out of the bag. Because the 12-inch are just friggin' gigantic. So yeah, I prefer the 8, the 6, or the 5 are my like go-to. Is this the 6 and there is no 5? Am I crazy? Yes, this is the 6. Okay, yeah. I prefer these 2 sizes. They're just the easiest for me to work with. I'm gonna keep this one out for Dino Forest. Toot says extras are fashion for Thomas. Exactly. Shroud says I have those hoops too. They're so good. I think I already read that, but yes, they are. And Kali says I discovered the embroidery kits I bought on Amazon came with those type hoops. They are fantastic. Like they are a fight to get on. They are a struggle. But once you get them on, you get them tightened. I have never had to retighten fabric on one of these hoops, like ever. So I got them on Amazon. They don't say anything about the extra ridge. You just have to like get the 5-pack of plastic hoops and hope that it magically has the little ridge on it. But I've heard that nerd hoops have the same like ridge divot construction. Which is why I'm interested in trying them out. They are more expensive because I think this set of 5 was like $15 or $18 Canadian, whereas a single nerd hoop is about the same price. So we'll see. We'll see if it is worth the extra. Also, the nerd hoops come in pastel colors, which I'm sure appeals to a lot of people. But like, I want an entire set in this neon green. I want all of my supplies to be neon green. I want a neon green hoop with my neon green box, and I don't have anything else neon green here. My pen for taking notes is dark green. I just want all the neon green things. Well, that was like perfectly timed because we're gonna wrap up stream here. Thank you guys for joining me and choosing my tattoo. It's super cute. I will post a finished picture in the Discord and probably on Blue Sky as well once I get this this off and the sleeve dried. I know for me, I'm probably going to be working on this for the rest of the day. But yeah, I hope you will join Moon and I and us and we this evening, and definitely join Toot tomorrow. I did not just forget Toot's name, I just was looking for something. I'm gonna do another shout out for Toot because I can. So yeah, definitely go check out Toot on Twitch and just on Twitch. I need to update that. Follow on the Blue Sky for updates. Check out the Etsy shop and the coffee shop. As always, the coffee shop prices are a little bit lower because Etsy taxes and things. Old Guy says, are we raiding? We are raiding out. So just hang out for a few seconds. We'll raid out. I think we're gonna hop on the Crafty raid train, and that way, if you want to just chill, you can get you want to just chill, hang out for the day, you'll be introduced to a bunch of different makers and crafters in a bunch of different crafts. So that'll be good. And Cryptic says Sunday church tomorrow. Yes, Ghost Church, we're going for it. And yeah, definitely if you guys would like to join the community, we're very active over in Discord. We are an 18+ server, and that's just to protect children basically from interacting with adults. So once you hop in the server, we'll do some little age verification and then you'll be in. That is the reason that our server and Toot streams and my streams are 18+. It's not because we're, you know, filthy, dirty-minded humans. It's because there's no reason for a 38-year-old person to be interacting with a child online. Thank you, Nightbot, for the double Discord invitation there. Okay, I think that's all that I had. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I had such a lovely morning. I'm so happy to be back streaming, so happy to be back doing the Stitch with Me's. Yeah, it's just good to be back. I'm going to post the schedule tonight or tomorrow. I will be back Monday for a co-working stream and Thursday for another co-working stream. And then Saturday again for Stitch with Me. And yeah, that's it. So let us go. I'm just going to see who the train is on. Lady Case is glad you're back too. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. I really missed. All right, so the raid train is going over to Einar, who is a miniature model maker. So yeah, like I said, you'll find some new crafts, that kind of thing. The last person that I was looking at was doing creative journaling, so that was cool. One second while I set up this raid. All right, so if you guys are subscribed, please copy and paste one of the, yeah. If you are subscribed, copy and paste the first message. If you're not subscribed, copy and paste the second message. We are going to go raid Einar. Be good. Have a wonderful, restful, restorative weekend. And I will see you guys tomorrow morning for Ghost Church. Have a good day. I will see you in the coffee shop. I will see you in Ghost Church. I will see you in the Discord server. But most importantly, my friends, I will see you in my heart. All right. Bye, guys. Bye-bye.